Hey y'all guys, new season of the Tab and Dillard podcast. It's season 6, episodes 1, and y'all join me here on the podcast today. I'm so happy about that because a year and a half ago, I started this journey on what you might call, well, that's really what it is called, the Tab and Dillard podcast. And it went one season around 15 episodes, and it went 2 seasons around 15 episodes, and then a season 3, same length. Season 4, season 5 that ended last week, and now this is the season 6. I don't know when you found the podcast episode. If you just joined us today, I'd say you can start the beginning and we'll be here waiting on you, or just start right now and figure that out another time kind of thing. But I'm glad you're here and you found me, and you may notice if you're watching on the YouTubes that I'm still video recording them. I ain't quit yet. I have pondered the quitting of this because a podcast is like a radio show. It is for your ears. But some folks like to look at the podcast and hear it. So if you ain't jogging or folding laundry or, at a ribbon cutting for an ice cream store, somewhere like that, where you're just going to be able to listen only, you can sit and watch this thing too. So that's how that go. It's been cold. I'll tell you that right now. And I want to thank Cricket. She was my special guest, the only guest I ever had on this podcast last week. Now, if you started listening or watching and you didn't get more than 18 minutes in, you wouldn't have known that she's a special guest, because she came in like 18 to 20 minutes, somewhere in that range, of the podcast, and then helped end the podcast with me, asking questions from the Q&A. And I heard from a couple folks I missed their questions. Now, that wasn't on purpose. I wasn't like, I can't believe they sent that in. I ain't talking about that. I think I must have overlooked some, which could happen, or I forgot. And then there's some folks that asked the same question over and over. And in the past podcast episodes, I'd say something like, hey, Brenda Lee and Bobby Lou and everybody that asked the same, they all ask, how's your truck fund coming along? But I might have missed some folks that asked the same question that they had asked it, like that away. But I ain't mad at you. Hope you ain't mad at me, but I appreciate y'all tuning in for season 6 of the Tab and Dillard podcast. A lot going on. I mean, we got the launch of a new shirt. If you listening to this when it come out on Tuesday, the last day of February, tonight at midnight, the Thunder Punch shirt launches. I got one right here. Now, I know podcast for years you can't see it if you just listen, but it's Thunder Punch shirt I designed, and you might have seen it on the Instagrams or the TikTok. Coach Hicks, that's like the official gym t-shirt now. But what's the big deal about midnight tabbing? Well, the shirt goes live at midnight, and then the first 100 orders get a free punch card. You know how you get a punch card if you go, you get enough snow cones at a snow cone stand? Well, the ones that do the punch cards. And it's a punch card for Thunder Punch. I'm a Thunder Puncher. I signed the back of it, and first 100 orders get a punch card too. Some of them actually got hole punched. But I tell you one thing, these are so thick. You hear this? Boy, that's what is a yaminated. There's yamelation, so it's thick. And the hole puncher broke. I ain't lying to you when I tell you that the hole puncher broke down. I don't know what Coach Hicks is going to use down there to punch them cards. Maybe a drill bit. But anyhow, Dim's coming up real soon. It's if you listen on Tuesday, tonight, you step to midnight, bank, and you can be one of the first 100 if you want a punch card. And there's more shirts than that, but there's not a lot more punch cards than that. So, what's going on today in town, you may be asking? Well, there's a lot. Firstly, our T-ball season mercifully ended. I don't even know how it went. Like, how'd y'all do? I don't know. It's like breakneck, unabridged chaos that don't stop till it done. Like, till they say, okay, game over, and then you're like, what just happened? And you just pick up the pieces and move on with your life. But last game, pretty exciting. I mean, Perry Lee Grubbs, that's Shane and Cheryl Grubbs' little boy. He hit the ball behind him twice. Like, it didn't go front ways, it went back ways behind him 2 times. Like, the first time it looked like a magic trick. Twice, it's like, boy, get this guy's own show. Maybe he can't hit a T-ball front ways, but the way he's hitting it, for it to go back ways, I don't even know how he do that. Champ Tharp, he got a home run. He hit a dinger. It's a T-ball dinger, but that's what we playing. So he got it that way. His folks didn't see it because they work in Atlanta in a trampoline, delivering and repairing trampolines, and sometimes they work late. So his granny seen it. I didn't even see Champ Tharp's dinger. Why, Tavin? Ain't you the assistant coach? Well, matter of fact, I am. But when Will Dilroy catches an adult crow and takes him into the dugout during the fourth inning, then you got to, as the assistant coach, you got to help figure that out. Now, Will's sister is Candy. Candy Dilroy, they live in our trailer park in Chancellor Park. Same where me and Meemaw live. You know, Meemaw 2 trailers away from me. She got her own trailer full of baby dolls. She's getting a new one this week. But yeah, that ain't the story I want to tell right now, but it'll be up on the Instagrams and TikToks at the end of the week about her new baby doll. But Candy Dilroy, you know, her grandparents are Chet Dilroy and Gracie. They live on the outside of town. Gracie and her sister Delonda run Early Bird Gets the Perm. Well, who cares, right? But I'm telling you, one time, Candy Dilroy, I heard a knock on my trailer door. I heard like this away. You know, I'm getting my shoes on, getting ready for my day to start. It's early in the morning. Well, I go out there and there's Candy Dilroy holding an adult crow like this away, and that crow looking up at me like, bank, bank, please, sir, can you help me? And I'm looking down at that crow, and then I'm looking up Candy, and then I'm thinking, how in the world does she knock on my door? If she let one hand go out of this, around this crow, it'd be gone. So I still don't know the answer to that. But she's holding that. She goes, hey, Tavin, I caught a crow. And I was like, I see that, Candy. Why in the world did you catch a crow? She said, they easy to catch. And I was like, well, just because you can do something don't mean you always have to. And I'll tell you right now, I ain't never seen a more embarrassed crow than the one I seen when Candy Dilroy was on my front porch holding that thing, and it was like, bank, bank, please, sir, can you help? Like, I don't speak crow, and it wasn't speaking English. It got a beak. You know how birds ain't got lips? They got beaks, and the beaks will talk, but they'll say something like, caw, caw. But he's looking at me like not saying a word, like his mouth wasn't moving, his beak wasn't moving, but his eyes was saying everything. Windows of the soul, as they say. And that bird wanted some help. And like I said, I ain't never seen a crow that embarrassed until our dugout this past week in our last, T-ball game down there at the fields. But to finish the Candy Dilroy story, if you don't know about that, reason she wanted a little cardboard box I had under my trailer, because she goes, Tavin, I'm going to build a little house for this crow, and it's going to stay with me, and we're going to have a tea party. And that was news to that crow. Like, you think it was banking before. It looked at me like, bank, bank, please, sir. Bank, bank, bank. Like, we can't do no tea parties. And she goes, oh, I got a bonnet for it. It's going to be the best thing ever. And boy, that little crow lost all respect at that point. He dropped his little head, beak down to his neck, just kind of shrugged his little crow shoulders like, I don't know what else to do with life. And that's when a light bulb went off in my head. And I said, Candy, you love that crow. She goes, oh, yeah, we're going to be best friends. Again, that crow didn't know about that neither. And it was like, bank, bank, please, sir, can you help me? And I said, okay, Candy, if you love that crow, if you need to let it go. And if it fly back here, then it's meant to be. And little Candy Dilroy's 8-year-old mind, she's like, that's right, Tavin, that make a lot of sense kind of thing. And she let that crow go. And I tell you right now, that thing, I know a crow ain't got thumbs, and I ain't sure where its shoulders are, but I think it looked back over its shoulder and gave me a little thumbs up like, bank, bank, thank you, sir, as it flowed away. Caw, caw. And I still think Candy kind of did our trailer at Chancellor Park where we live a favor, because they smart birds and they talk, and that's why they were embarrassed. I mean, when that crow got back to his buddies, they had to be like, what in the world, did you get caught by an 8-year-old girl, Leroy? And he's like, don't want to talk about it right now, but I tell you right now, she quick. I wasn't expecting it. That's the thing Candy got for you. You look at her, she's like an innocent little girl, but boy, she got some skills. And so I think that crow probably told its friends, and we didn't have a crow problem for a while. But then it came back again, where you leave your hot fries out and they snatch them up, and it's all over again. Well, let me just say the younger brother Will, the protege to Candy, is on the T-ball team that I assistant coach. And somewhere around 4th inning or so, he got up behind a crow. It wasn't even in the dugout. I mean, it was just out there hopping around. Folks bring little snacks. They bring little Ziploc bags full of little, crackers and maybe a Snicker bar kind of thing. Or they come straight from the McDonald's and, somebody's got a filet of fish. Boy, I get choked up thinking about filet of fish. Meemaw loves them. Extra mayonnaise, she says. So people get in there and they throw them wrappers down, or maybe they walk away from a bag that's still got a quarter pounder with cheese or half a cheeseburger in there, and them crows go to town. I mean, it's a crow party over there at the fields right now. So anyhow, there's one out there, and I guess he was just, steady focused on something else. And Will came up behind that thing, had it, boom, locked it in, bank, bank. Now we got a crow completely embarrassed. He's embarrassed in front of all his Crow friends, but he's also embarrassed in front of all them spectators at the T-ball field. The kids, some of them paid attention, some of them don't. They don't have long attention spans, none of them, but Will had a long enough attention span to catch a crow and bring it into the dugout, and I guess he flustered the crow. Again, I don't speak Crow, but I can look at a crow and say that crow's flustered, and it didn't know which way to go. I mean, it flowed up and hit the roof of that dugout, it flowed down, and it was just, then it kind of just stopped, and it was like head on a swivel, like, okay, let me look here, let me think, let me just reset, you know, and it's kind of probably going through its safety protocol. Now, I don't know if that crow lived with his family, or if it was, I couldn't tell if it was an adult crow, or a teenage crow, or like a little baby crow. It wasn't little, so it wasn't like a newborn crow, but it was like maybe when they had safety meetings. You know how folks have meetings in their houses, like, if there's a fire, this is how we will exit the home, you know. You kick out a window and you run kind of thing. Maybe them crows have that. I don't know. And they say, okay, when you get stuck somewhere, you need to stop, take a deep breath in your yeller beak, and then you look around and you look for the nearest exit where you can float out of there kind of thing. Well, that crow was at the back of the dugout, and then all of a sudden, bang, bang, it seen one of them little boys with their little helmets on, their little bats, exit the dugout, you know, because they turned to bat. And so I think it was Hunter Farnhart, you know, that's Rance Farnhart's little nephew. He's mutton buster. Boy, he loved that rodeo. He loved that barrel racing. And it's his turn to bat. Well, anyways, that crow finally seen an exit, and I got out of the way, and then I ran a little interference on Will Dilroy because Will was about to catch that thing again. I was like, this ain't what we here for, Will. And all the while, Champ Tharp's over there hitting a dinger. Boy, he hit it over second base. That's all you got to do to get a home run in T-ball. He made some good contact. And so anyways, Champ rounds the bases, and boy, he slid head first, and everybody dogpiled him. You know, they're about 7-8 minute dog piles in T-ball every other inning. So they did that, and the crow went free. I don't know. We'll see, because the softball fields are down there too. You know, they just shortened the adult softball fields for the T-ball. So our season starts here in another month and a half or so, you know, the adult softball league. So we'll see if by then them crows are still staying away, because, you know, when you get a rebellious crow and he tells his family, hey, don't go over there. There's easier places to get food in town than that T-ball field. They may still be staying away, you know, for our softball season. I don't know, because I don't eat snacks during the game, and I don't bring them, and I don't leave them out no more. Mary Beth Tucker's the one you're going to have to talk to once season starts. Sounds like she's going to be helping with the concession stand again. She's the one to get these wild ideas, getting all kinds of food down there to the fields. But that was the last T-ball game. So Tavin's Lawn Care Services, we something and something. I don't know our record, but I know the season's over, and I'm exhausted. But Tavin's Lawn Care Services did sponsor that T-ball team. Mowing, edging, grass cutting, legend. That's what I do. So anyways, now we all decided about Thunder Punch. You know, folks is working. I told Myron Curtis, I told Mort Dwidell, I was like, hey, if we going to get ready for the adult softball season, we can't be sitting in eating Oreos all winter long kind of thing. And Myron's like, I ain't in all winter long. I mean, I've been down at Bickham's. They fixed a soft serve machine. And he's right, they did. But I still wouldn't count on it, you know, kind of thing. That thing could break at any time. So I said, why don't we get down to Thunder Punch, start working out? And so Myron wanted to do that, but we told him that, Myron, you got to get a new pair of sweat breeches. These are not appropriate for public. You can't do that. That elastic steady hanging on for dear life. It's done all it can. I mean, that elastic should get a free punch card down at Thunder Punch just for doing its job so well. Coach Hicks maybe give it a free boxing lesson. I don't know. I don't know what you get with the punch cards yet, but you know, some sort of free lesson, if it's a grappling lesson or like a kickboxing lesson or whatever. But the bottom line is you want your punch card filled up. You know, Coach Hicks, he running the boxing gym. I mean, he really turning that thing around. Thunder Punch. Now they got shirts. You know, like I said, you can check the show notes today. The link will be there, but the link for the shirt ain't gonna be live till midnight, March 1st, which is tonight. You know, at the very end of tonight, first minute of tomorrow morning, kind of thing. But he done all kind of things. You know, he's my PE teacher in high school. You knew that about him, didn't you? I mean, he been an athlete for years. He ran to Long John Silver's in the county next over. And you know, when you got a high school PE teacher pulling in that kind of money and pulling in manager at the Long John Silver, nobody's surprised that he had a double cab truck. I'll tell you that right now. Nobody thought twice about that. Had air conditioning at work too inside it. But he's just a man, he's a businessman, and he always worked. You know, he's a man on the move. He stay active. He's the head lifeguard at the city pool. He's the one that teaches Meemaw and Mabel Childress' water aerobics class in the summer times. Boy, that's gonna crank up here in not too long. I don't even like to think about that. I dry heave thinking about Mabel coming down there in her two-piece. You know, she got her own idea. That's Brody Childress' granny. Brody may be playing softball again this spring too. Truth be told, but Coach Hicks is, I mean, there's just a lot of excitement down there. You got a man that knows how to run a business. He in shape. He knows how to teach, and he has got Thunder Punch dialed in. And Mort Dwidell, you know, Myron Curse, he got them little sweat britches that are steady. Just they need to be replaced or retired or whatever kind of thing. But in Mort Dwidell, he got on little gym shorts. Mort Dwidell's little shorts, he got stubby legs and kind of a long torso. And I mean, he got power, you know, in the softball season. He can launch them dangers. I mean, Mort Dwidell is home run or go home. He don't try to run out nothing. It's got to be over the fence or he just walking back to the dugout kind of thing. But he got them little shorts on. And so part of it is like, guys, I know when you're working out, you can wear what you want, what you're comfortable in working out, but have a little respect for the general public. Like little breeches that fit a little better, Myron, and shorts that fit a little looser. Mort, come on. And I know Mary Beth Tucker ain't seen Myron in them sweat breeches. She would have told him something. And Donna Glenda, you know, that's Mort's wife. She go by her mama and her granny's name, depending on who she's mad at that day. She don't go by that. So she mad at Donna, she go by Glenda. She mad at Glenda, she go by Donna. But anyhow, but if Donna Glenda, there's no way she let Mort out the house. She's probably still working late shift down at Uptown Gal, that women's clothing store in town she liked. You know, Meemaw perked up when they started carrying creased breeches. Because she's thinking, I don't have to go all the way up to them outlet malls where the Adler Candle and Blanchard and the Snatchy and all them to get her crease breeches. And so, you know, that business start coming in like that away. Then all of a sudden what we got going on is that Mort Dwidell's wife Glenda is working some hours down there. And then he snake off to Thunder Punch in them little gym shorts that should not be allowed in. No tiny shorts and no shoes, no service kind of thing, but they let him in. Coach Hicks is steady focused on, you know, training them. And hey, you know, if Mort and Myron are in shape by softball season, and me too, I guess it's all a win at the end of the day. I mean, that's what we're looking for. But that water aerobics class and all them water stuff, I know Coach Hicks is going to have to bring on some help at Thunder Punch because when the city pool opened, he's down there a lot. And I reckon he might have some more customers this year. Now, you might remember that Delma Spencer, not Delma Spencer, because she ain't allowed. I don't know if her suspension is still held up down at the city pool. There's a lot of things that happen down there I don't want to get into, but kids with no swim trunks and not finding a bathroom in time, all kinds of things. But it's Doreen Bundles, who I'm thinking of down at the nursing home. Her son Trot and his wife Sweet Wilma, they's the one that let Doreen have the memorial service for Captain Thunderboots, her first goldfish. She got two Captain Thunderboots, the one that's alive now and the one that died last year, and they did a toilet funeral for it. And I was the one there for that. Me, Cricket, and Doreen were there, but the memorial service, that was out at Trot and Sweet Wilma's house, and you know, he creased that above ground pool. You know, Doreen was floating in listening to the Eddie Rabbit song. And so they don't have a pool yet, is what I'm saying. Long story longer. Trot and Sweet Wilma ain't got their pool fixed. And so they may be going down to the city pool. And I don't know if they're taking lessons or they just going to use it, you know, like a citizen in the community might do that. But that's something to think about. I just know that it's getting busy. I mean, we at the tail end of February, it's March this week, and then once the weather starts heating up and the lawns are growing, I'm back out there, you know, kind of thing. And then I got cannonball practice I got to get ready for down to City Pool, but I cannonball anywhere. I really do. And then we got the watermelon helmet season's cranking up. But I mean, the biggest thing right now is T-ball season is over. Thank goodness. And softball season is on the horizon here in another month or so. But this week, get your Thunder Punch shirt. Boy, get down there and you thunder punching. I'm going to need probably a frittler this week. I'm probably getting an apple frittler this week. And truth be told, reason how come is because I need that kind of strength to get down there and work my muscles down at Thunder Punch. So if you interested in this, check the link in the show notes today. If it ain't March 1st yet at midnight, then it may not be live, but I'm going to have that link in there for folks that want to get one of the first 100 Thunder Punch shirts to get their Thunder Punch punch card. So I told you there's a lot going on, didn't I? Well, that's it. This is Season 6, Episode 1 of the Tavin Dillard Podcast. I sure am glad y'all joined me this week. Check them show notes. We got the Thunder Punch link for all the shirts, not just that one, but that's the one that's going live tonight. And then you can email me, tavindillard@gmail.com, and text me 501-322-6249, and we got something coming up I'm going to be announcing soon. I guess I can say this. What we're going to be doing is Friend Fridays, where folks is sending pictures of them and whatever. If you got a Tavin, you got one of my shirts. I got my Squirrel in the Headlock hoodie on today. But if you got one of the shirts or hoodies or hats, send me a picture. And then every Friday in March, somebody going to win something free. What they going to win? Well, right now, I'm thinking it's going to be a Peekleboon sticker. I'm getting new stickers made that say Peekleboon. So that interests some folks. Might not interest everybody, but that's what's going on in my neck of the woods. And I sure am glad you joined me today for this. I'll tell you right now, though, if you ain't been a pair of Myron Curtis sweat britches, you having a pretty good week. Me, I'm Tavin Dillard. This is a Tavin Dillard Podcast, Season 6. Here we are. Thank y'all for joining me. Appreciate y'all. Have a good week. And until next time, y'all guys, we'll see you later.